There is a virtual death penalty on the streets for men who wear dresses and women who dress as I do. And short of a death penalty, anybody can do practically anything they want to us and feel like when the cops arrive, they're going to understand why they did it to us. That's a tremendous injustice that's not rooted in any material reason for society to function smoothly, except in order to keep people divided, in order to keep deciding that what is natural has been declared to be unnatural. It's still a form of social control.
Until 1974, the medical establishment treated lesbianism as a form of insanity. Sheila Gilhooly's story inspired the iconography for these sculptures, presented in an art exhibition entitled Still Sane.
So I went to see the school counselor to kind of have a chat about it, just kind of wanting her to reassure me. And she didn't. She scared me half to death. She put me on tranquilizers, and she made it into a really big thing. And then once she got me upset enough, she decided I need to be hospitalized because I might be a danger to myself. So it was all, it all happened so fast. I came out, I was thrilled. Before I knew it, I was locked up. So I was kind of in and out of the mental hospitals for 3 years. In all of them, they either directly or indirectly tried to fix me. They focused on wanting me to behave more like a proper woman, i.e. be heterosexual. How I dressed was really important. I got a lot of pressure to dress more femme. For the first year, I just kept getting more and more tranquilizers. And finally, they sent me 500 miles from home to a place where they gave me shock treatments, and then everybody was totally afraid of me. First they made me into a freak, which took my confidence away. Then they fried my brains, which made me feel brain damaged, so I couldn't hold a job, I couldn't go back to school. You know, if I could change just one thing about the world, that's what I would change about the world. I mean, these definitions, who designed those boxes anyway? I know I'm not the only woman that doesn't fit into them.
We need to examine questions that we can only examine between ourselves, and we need to always have that as a refuge because we live in a racist, sexist, homophobic, classist, anti-Semitic, ageist world. We need to be able to articulate ourselves at any moment in time within whatever self-definition we are operating in.
It's my pleasure to introduce a woman who's an international athlete, a national coach of volleyball, and someone from whom I have learned a lot about the lesbian community, Betty Baxter.
The reason I wanted to bring the third Gay Games to Vancouver was that I wanted my community to be a great place to live as a lesbian. I want it to be a place, and I still do, I want Vancouver to be a place where you can be open on the street with your lover, where you can be completely accepted into community institutions, into political life, into social life, into the business world here, no matter what your sexuality. And I felt to do that, we had to have tremendous public visibility. One of the reasons I chose to go for the national coaching job was I believed that I could make a difference. I knew the system. I was an athlete made good. So in fact, after having been the coach for 2 years, to be fired for no reason after 6 to 8 months of rumors about my sexuality and a lot of slander about women on the team, they said that, no parents would actually send their athletes to the team if they knew that it was a lesbian coach. So I was discriminated against in that I lost a job, and I lost a job that had been the culmination of about 15 years of my life in the sport, and what I thought was a place where I could use my creativity to help other young women explore their potential in sport.
The Gay Olympics have surprised some dykes with a challenge they didn't quite expect.
I grew up a bookworm. I loved to read. I hated gym classes. I did not participate in organized sports. And it wasn't until I was 30 years old that I discovered bodybuilding. My best friend of 13 years, Anita Taylor Onyan, died of breast cancer. And I'm a recovering alcoholic. I started drinking again. And I couldn't leave the house. I couldn't do anything except grieve. And one day I said to myself, Anita wouldn't want me to die. So I got out my weight gloves, my weight belt, and I went back to the gym. And I trained for 3.5 months. And I won the bronze medal in the women's physique. Working out with weights has helped me tremendously in terms of discipline. It helps me with my sobriety. Bodybuilding has proved to me that I can be strong, not only in body, but in character. There's also a way in which training with weights unites all of my parts, the physical, mental, spiritual, and psychic parts of me. And it's also another way in which I can again challenge the patriarchal stereotypes of beauty, a woman's beauty, face, tits, and ass. Because when you bodybuild, you train your whole body. You build your whole body. And so all parts of you are beautiful.
Each of us in our lives have experienced a time when we felt like, I'm the only gay kid in the world. My lover and I are the only lesbians. There's nobody out there like us. Take a breath and look around. We don't need to ever feel like that again. And if you're ever in a situation in the future where you're isolated on your job or you're isolated in your community, hold on to this picture you've got tonight, because that's what this movement's about, and that's what's going to happen in 4 more years, and in 4 more years, and in 4 more years.
Dans un monde patriarcal, lorsqu'on est amoureuse d'une autre femme et qu'on vit en couple, il y a quelque part un exil de la société patriarcale. Mais c'est un étrange exil parce qu'il n'y a jamais eu de pays réel dans le patriarcat. Mais il y a comme, on est ailleurs, en quelque sorte, on se retrouve ailleurs. Et dans cet ailleurs, il faut tout inventer.
Contemporary lesbian societies have sprung up everywhere, and the rural dyke community outside of Montreal is no exception.
Le désir lesbien est une force qui nous ramène à ce qui est essentiel en nous, dans la mesure où on retrouve à travers une autre femme et avec une autre femme cet essentiel qui serait du féminin, mais d'une énergie qui nous met en quelque sorte en orbite vers un projet, vers une réalisation de soi. Là où le désir lesbien est important, c'est que lorsqu'on désire, on rêve, on fantasme, on imagine.